Hey friends, aren't figs just delicious? We love growing them ourselves on our own giant fig tree behind me. This is just one tree. You get major bang for your buck by growing your own fig tree because this produces hundreds every year. Last year, we did a video on what you do at the end of the season when it's time to hack down this entire tree and put it to bed for winter and keep it protected in the cold. But this video today is all about harvesting time because it's the beginning of October and the figs are coming ripe, dozens per day. So I made a log for you over the summer of what it looks like, especially starting in June. You're going to see a lot of growth of your tree, a lot of growth of the figs, and I'll show you how they come along each month until this point now. Then Dan is going to show you the harvesting part because you're going to want to pick them at just the right time and for the quality that you're going to want to have in eating these figs.
This is how our fig looks all winter long, cut down to about 18 inches high and covered over with straw. Fast forwarding to June, the shoots and the leaves are growing very quickly. It's already about 3 feet tall, and there are tiny little nodules where the figs are growing.
Our figs are loving life right now. They are really enjoying the heat and the wet weather. They are drinking like crazy, and it's really important at this time when you're talking about the middle of the summer to get a lot of water on these. 5 gallons a week per root is basically what I do. I've got 4 plants basically here, and I put a 5-gallon bucket on them each week. The reason for that is because they're starting this fruit, this little fruit, and this fruit won't mature unless it has lots of water. And you can see it's green and it's small and it's obviously not worth eating at this point. And the animals won't like it either until it ripens out. To get it to that point though, you need lots of water to be pushed up into these branches. This thing's going to continue to grow out, leaf out. It is going to be 20 feet high, probably 30 feet in diameter. I'm going to have to dig in among all of these in order to get the fruit when it does ripen. But I'm excited for the opportunity.
It's about 10 feet tall now and 15 feet wide. There are figs deep down inside, all the way to the very edges. Each shoot is full of the fruit. They continue to mature and ripen, and water is very crucial at this point.
It's early September and there's been quite a bit of growth in our fig tree. It really is healthy and is putting out a lot of the small fruit. Now, through the summer, you can see that the fruits came out like this, green and small. And as the summer rains came, and especially the rains here over the last couple of weeks, we've seen quite a bit of the fruit start ripening to the point where it is more yellow. I don't know if you can see this one here, but this one is really starting toward it is almost ripe. Now, when they get ripe, these are brown turkey figs. They will get a beautiful mahogany kind of brown sheen to them, along with a deep yellow. And you'll know they'll be engorged, and you'll know that they're ripe at that point. We've had a couple of ripe ones that I have picked and have used. At first, what you'll see is they'll ripen a little bit randomly. And then all of a sudden, probably mid to late September, they'll start ripening all at once. And at that point, the harvest is something where you'll have to decide whether you want to can things or freeze your figs. But at this time, I'm just hand to mouth, using them in smoothies and just eating them one at a time. They're fantastic with a little bit of cinnamon and some pears. Beautiful taste to these figs. Well, here we are at the end of September, and it's been a 4-month journey to bring this wonderful plant all the way to the point where it's bearing a lot of fruit. So we had random figs that were growing and ripening, and we've seen that since the beginning of September, but now we're getting a lot all at once. And I would like to show you tonight what a ripe fig looks like and when you can pick it. Figs tend to ripen from the trunk out. So you'll find that the ones that are closer in to the trunk all the way out to the lower parts of the branches are the ones that ripen first. And so you'll have to dig in there at first to be able to pull some of the ripe ones out. You notice some of these ones on the very end are still very green and small. They will ripen as time goes on, as the water continues to be pushed up through these branches. And of course, as this fruit is picked, then there will be more of the water for those smaller fruits to be able to ripen as well.
So how can you tell that a fig is the perfect ripeness? First, you want to pick figs that are bending on their stems, hanging down rather than sticking straight out. This means that they are heavy and the stem connection will soon break and drop the fruit. The stem will break very easily when you go to harvest it without any need for a tool to snip it. The second thing to look for is the right color. Bronzy yellow with some brown is the perfect ripe color. The third thing to look for is a fig that is just about to split open at the bottom. This little hole right here is where the fig will open up in order to drop its seeds. You want to try to catch the fig just before this happens. There is a bit of an art to timing and harvesting of figs, and you have to pay close attention as figs can go from just about ripe to overripe in the matter of a day. This fig, for example, has split and in the meantime has attracted ants. Ants and yellow jackets will flock quickly to split and overripe figs. Here is a fig that is extremely overripe. It has totally lost its texture and has become mushy. You see, it is even impossible to harvest it without it literally falling apart.
For me, this is when I want to pick the figs. It's about a day early, so they haven't ripened completely, but it's not a day late where they have split and the ants have gotten into them. A lot of times what you'll find is when you pick a day early that you get these wounds where the stems have pulled off, but they haven't pulled off of the plant really well. And so you get these wounds where the stem is still stuck to the plant and not to the fig any longer. And this is okay, especially if you're going to eat them soon. Just refrigerate them or put them in a canning jar and they should be fine. But notice it hasn't split yet. It's a great color and it's a great texture. So it's soft inside, ready to eat, but not overripe. As you start harvesting your figs, you will start finding as the season goes on that there are yellowing and browning leaves on your plant. That's due to the fact that the plant is getting tired through the end of the season. Also, a little bit because of the cooler nights. And so when you find them, like this leaf right here, all you need to do is just pull them off and discard them. It won't hurt the plant at all. And it does help you as you get rid of those to be able to look to the internal parts of the plant and be able to see the figs that are ripening. And here's our harvest for the evening, about 30 fresh figs that I picked. And I'm excited to be able to wash these and process them. We'll probably water bath can these tomorrow. And we will use, to make sure that we water bath properly, we'll make sure that we put a little lemon juice in that to bring the acid level up so that we can water bath can. But we sometimes will eat them fresh as well. Like I said, they're really good fresh. And we expect to get about 300 figs from our tree until the end of the season. Now, this will produce fresh fruit up until the frost, which is really exciting. But as it gets colder, you'll see more of the leaves die off and you'll definitely see less of the fruit ripen. Again, to have more of the fruit ripen, you'll want to make sure to keep the water content. 5 gallons a week is great for the base of the plant to make sure as much of the fruit ripens and you get the biggest harvest you can. Figs do not like cold weather, so as it gets down in the high 30s, you will start to see this plant start to wilt. And once the last fruits are harvested, you'll want to make sure to put your plant to bed for the winter. We have another video that we've done on wrapping around from the fall all the way to the spring. Putting your fig properly to bed for the winter is an important part of the process of having an abundant harvest. And we'd like to share that at the end in a link. As always, blessings from our homestead to yours.